coming up on the News at 5.
We're going to have a computer set up where they can look for job applications, apply for housing applications.
An addiction counseling service in Great Falls is expanding to meet the needs of the community. Plus, a new way to bet on the big game launches ahead of this week's Super Bowl.
From Montana's news leader, this is MTN News at 5.
Good afternoon and welcome to the News at 5. I'm Marianne Davidson. Thanks for joining us. Well, Curtis has been talking about this all week. Winter weather, really cold temperatures. What are we looking at tonight, Curtis?
You know, it's beginning to look a lot like winter out there. Hold on one second. Microphone's,
1 second. It'll be worth it, I promise.
There we go.
There we go.
You know, honestly, folks, sometimes that microphone just shuts off by itself. It's live television here. Good afternoon to you all. Here's a look at Monarch, and I sang before you missed it. It's beginning to look a lot like winter out there. Some snowy spots really in central Montana. We'll take a look at some of the traffic cameras, but look how much of the state is under a winter storm warning. This going through most of Sunday. So this is a prolonged snow event. Winter weather advisory up on the High Line, a winter weather advisory west of the divide. That orange actually is an avalanche watch up there right around the Whitefish area. A wind chill advisory and a wind chill watch. We've got it all headed our way. Snow, wind, cold, really the perfect Montana storm, with one of these storms coming in from the northwest with Arctic air coming in, a lot of Pacific moisture. It's really everything coming together. We'll talk about the Arctic air and its arrival, and can you dig out from the snow? More on the forecast coming up.
Thanks, Curtis. Today, Republicans in the Montana House endorsed a bill to get rid of Election Day voter registration in Montana. The House voted 61 to 39 to advance House Bill 176, which would end voter registration at noon the Monday before Election Day. Now, since 2006, Montanans have been able to register and vote right up to the close of polls on Election Day. Conservatives in the House tried and failed to move the bill's registration deadline to the Friday before Election Day. They said that they would try that amendment again in the state Senate. Now, all 61 votes for the bill were from Republicans, who said it is a party position to end Election Day registration. GOP State Representative Jedediah Hinkle of Belgrade said nonprofit groups are busing people to the polls on Election Day, leading to long lines for registration. But Democrat Tom France of Missoula said there is nothing wrong with that, and said the bill is an attempt to suppress the vote.
And what those nonprofit groups, and they were not on our side of the aisle, what they were doing was when they were 30 feet from the building, they were working all of those people with literature, pizza, heat lamps, and everything else.
I know we had candidates, I might have been one myself, that on the Sunday before election and on the Monday before election were campaigning. And I would have hoped that I might have said something that inspired someone who wasn't eligible to vote to think I better darn well get down to the voting place and cast my vote, and I better register to do it.
The bill faces a final vote this week in the House before advancing to the state Senate. And the Super Bowl kicks off in just a few days. Intralot, the sports betting service contracted by the Montana Lottery, and SimpleBet are unveiling a new way to wager on the big game. Intralot and SimpleBet are partnering to offer micro-market betting, so bettors using SportsBet Montana will be able to place bets on a play-by-play basis. The SimpleBet technology was first implemented in Washington, D.C., and Montana will be the second market to see the combination of the two betting services. Now, we did reach out to the Montana Lottery for details, but have not heard back just yet. As active cases continue to tick down in Montana, health experts urge caution heading into the Super Bowl weekend. Right now, the state has about 3,300 active cases of COVID-19. That is less than a fifth of the peak active case number in November. Now, 115 people are currently hospitalized with the virus in the state. 5 counties reported additional deaths today, bringing the statewide death total to 1,322. In the past, Montana has seen spikes in cases after holidays where people traditionally gather, and that is why officials are asking people to be careful over this Super Bowl weekend. Seeking Recovery, an addiction counseling service in Great Falls, has only been open for about a year, but because of high demand, they are already expanding. MTN's Coulter Anstat shows us the new building and the need they are seeking to address.
So, still getting everything together.
Seeking Recovery owner Joanne Ballone is happy to show off the Addiction Counseling Service's new office in Great Falls, even though it's not completely finished.
There is a major addiction problem here in the town.
She was not anticipating needing the new space when she opened the old office. The new office is double the size and includes more rooms for counselors and a large space for case management.
This is going to be eventually where the case management office is going to be. So people will be able to come in here. We're going to have a computer set up where they can look for job applications, apply for housing applications. Case management will be here. We can do resume and job building skills. We're going to have resources here if people need it, food donation, food boxes, stuff like that. A lot of times people come in and they don't have housing, they don't have food stamps, they don't have Medicaid, they don't have a lot of things. And they're not going to focus in on treatment.
The extra space is even more important during the pandemic, she says.
People who have addictions and mental illness, the isolation was making it worse.
Cecilia Lenahan is one of Seeking Recovery's licensed addiction counselors. She hopes to start specialized groups now that she has more space.
Specialized groups target what we call special populations, like if you were to have an all men's group, all women's group, and then there are different levels of treatment in addiction medicine that we can separate out for the intensity levels.
Expanding service to meet a big problem that, thanks to the expanded service, may now one day be just the opposite. In Great Falls, Coulter Anstat, MTN News.
Well, it is that time again, time for the MTN Special Olympics Chevy Truck Raffle. Tickets are on sale now, and sales benefit Special Olympics Montana. You can get tickets at town pump stations across the state until March 31st, Murdoch's Ranch and Home Supply every Saturday this month, and Tire-Rama or from a Special Olympic athlete until May 14th. Now, you can also get tickets from Special Olympics Montana over the phone, through mail, and on their website. So clearly, a lot of ways to get tickets. Special Olympics Montana officials hope these options will help keep athletes and ticket buyers safe during the pandemic.
Would you be interested in purchasing a $5 raffle ticket to support Special Olympics and a chance to win a Chevy truck?
What's important to us at Special Olympics Montana is we keep everyone safe. So in those situations where our athletes are out, we know they are following strict COVID protocols, and we encourage you to buy from them. Also on an individual basis, as needed, we absolutely encourage that. Additionally, our businesses are there and available, so whatever is most convenient for the customer is what works best for us.
The grand prize is a 2021 Chevy pickup, and you can also win $5,000 or one of 3 $1,000 Town Pump gift cards. Winners will be drawn on May 15th. And when we come back, Chief Meteorologist Curtis Grevenitz will tell us all about those cold temperatures and snow headed our way. And later, meet a distance learning instructor and learn exactly what that job entails.
Storm Tracker weather starts now with Chief Meteorologist Curtis Grevenitz.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Snow is on the way, but also dangerous cold on the way. This is Future Track feels like essentially the wind chill, and there you can see the wind chill values tomorrow afternoon all the way through the evening hours. Notice how we start dropping below zero, well below zero. 20 to 30 below zero northeast Montana. A little milder here on Saturday before another surge of cold air comes in. So just to prepare for harsh winter conditions, snow, and also a lot of cold. Cut bank, look at that by 11 o'clock Sunday morning. 31 below zero. Couple of cameras out here. Deep Creek Pass. This is east of Townsend and over west of White Sulphur Springs. It is snowing. Look at the Lewistown Divide in Lewistown. Some good snow flying here as well. Bozeman Pass getting some snow out there. It's a wetter snow. We've had a few snow showers on the Continental Divide in and around Helena. 34 degrees. It's chilly out there right now with wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour. And this camera vantage point is in Geyser, so east of Great Falls. In Great Falls it is still dry, but 35 degrees with a west wind of 21 miles per hour. Some colder air around Glasgow, but really the cold air has not arrived yet, and it won't arrive until later tomorrow, really Friday night. But some areas of snow again around Helena. There's Deep Creek Pass, maybe a few flakes near Townsend, and also over the Elkhorns. Lincoln, get ready for a lot of snow if you're watching from the Lincoln area. Missoula seeing some snow. There's some of that snow out around Geyser, Belt, the Highwoods, out through Stanford, Rainsford. Lewistown, not really showing up so well on the radar, but as you saw, it was snowing, and a little snow up around the Little Rockies out through the Bear Paw Mountains here, and yet another storm moving through the Great Lakes into the northeast. So here's what will happen. Snow increasing through the overnight tonight out into the central part of the state, and eventually it works its way after midnight into the Great Falls area. Lewistown, a snowy night, snowy day tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, snow from Lewistown to Great Falls, Cup Bank, Helena in the valley, maybe a little shadowing going on, meaning the way the wind is positioned coming off the divide. Really, it's kind of dry. There's almost like a little donut hole right in the valley there, but it will snow even in the Helena Valley as we get into later on Friday. One wave of snow coming through, and then here comes the Arctic front reinforcing that snow later Friday evening, and that snow will spread across a lot of the state. Another little break maybe early Saturday morning before another wave of snow pushes in here and moves into most of the state on Saturday. Snowfall amounts. Now this is just going here into tomorrow noontime. Little accumulation around Great Falls and also a little around Helena. A little more through the afternoon, and by the time we get into Saturday morning, a lot of locations have at least a couple inches on the ground. More accumulation Saturday. This computer model only goes out this far. We'll have more accumulation after Saturday all the way into Monday. So here's my forecast. 6 to 12 in the Helena Valley, more in the hills around town. 10 to 14 Great Falls, Cup Bank 4 to 8, but around East Glacier there might be over a foot of snow. Havre a little less, Glasgow a little less, Lewistown up to 16, and common to maybe find some snowfall totals up to about 30 inches in the mountains. Here's the forecast for tonight. Snow increasing, especially after midnight. Basically expect a cold and snowy morning for tomorrow morning. Slippery around Lewistown already, and a little snow increasing through the morning hours in Helena. Here's the forecast for tomorrow. It's a snowy day for a lot of the state. Colder the farther north and east you go, but less snow. Certainly snowy around Lewistown through Stanford and into the Little Belts, and it's a snowy day through the morning into the afternoon around Helena. We'll go day by day through the weekend coming up in the forecast at 6. Here's the 7-day for Helena. Snow solid through Saturday, and then again Sunday all the way into Monday. And look at those temperatures, overnight lows, and that's in Helena, 20 to 25 below. It could be colder in the colder spots around town. And for Great Falls, 20 to almost 30 below for those overnight lows, especially as we get into the middle of next week. Get ready for a cold, snowy weekend with dangerous wind chills.
The COVID-19 pandemic has changed a lot about school for teachers and students, and that is especially true for one group of teachers in the Helena School District, known as distance learning instructors. MTN's Jessica Nelson introduces us to one of those teachers who shares exactly what her job entails.
When you or I think distance learning instructor, we may picture a teacher at home on their couch, Zooming with their students. But Jefferson Elementary teacher Abby Cool tells me that's not at all how she spends her days.
I think that's a big misconception where some people think that we're, at home, doing dishes or something during the day, but that's not true. We're very much, working full time at the school.
I need your help reading this story.
Abby Cool teaches kindergarten through 2nd grade at Jefferson Elementary School. She teaches from the school, but all of her students are distance learners.
Here we go. The hungry thing. Can everybody see me okay?
She says another misconception people may have is her students perform all schoolwork online.
Trying to get those tasks to be partly online, partly not online, because we want them to have those paper pencil experiences, especially because they're so young.
Because Abby's students are all distance learners, her schedule as a teacher has to be more flexible throughout the day.
Really try to be flexible to work with the family's schedules, because some are able to do their work during the day, some do it after school or, after regular school hours. So within the day, they have tasks that they need to complete.
Not only are her students completing their tasks, but Abby says they're also achieving benchmark standards for their grades.
There was a group of teachers that worked really hard this summer going through and saying, okay, what do the kindergartners need to be successful in first grade? And what do the first graders need to be successful in second grade? And so on and so on and so on. So we really looked at those essential standards, and we are really focusing on those.
Abby says her distance learners are near or at the same level as students who are meeting inside the classroom.
I think that is huge, and I think that that's something that really needs to be celebrated.
Abby says when her students move on to the next grade, she is confident they will be ready. Reporting in Helena, Jessica Nelson, MTN News.
Well, this story is part of our Rebound series, and for more stories about the state of education in the series, head to our website, ktvh.com. And coming up next on the news at 5, Great Falls High School students are getting some hands-on construction experience.
From Montana's news leader, you're watching MTN News at 5.
Welcome back to the news at 5. High school students in Great Falls are learning the tricks of the construction trade. MTN's Cassandra Soto reports.
Students are signing on to build skills for their future with the High School House Pre-Apprenticeship Program.
I'd say just seeing all the progress we've made and how we can go from, a patch of dirt in a neighborhood to a full house, it's really cool to see.
26 students from Great Falls and CMR high schools signed on to a program designed to teach them skills in construction that meet industry standards. Student apprentices are currently working on the 43rd high school house that is set to be completed by the end of the year. Construction may not be all of their dream careers, but student Sam Collins says what he's learning is worth the work.
Just coming out here and learning a valuable skill that I can use in the future in my life. I'm not planning on going into construction, but just understanding the fundamentals of how everything's put together is really useful.
High School House instructor Pete Pace has been teaching students to build homes for 10 years. His favorite part is watching them go through the stages of building something from the ground up.
Not only do they help out their community by building affordable housing, they learn a skill, and you really see that from the start to the finish of the year. They start out without a whole lot of skill. By the end of the year, they're ready and prepared to go right into the construction field. So that's the most rewarding part, is seeing the growth in the students.
For student apprentice Colton DeVos, he's working on something he can be proud of.
It makes me feel good knowing that some low-income family will have a nice home to live in. Yeah, it'll be nice, like, if I have a kid someday to drive by the house and say, yeah, I built that.
In Great Falls, Cassandra Soto, MTN News.
The pre-apprenticeship program is offered through the Montana Department of Labor, and students will earn 360 on-the-job hours. And we'll wrap things up here on the News at 5 when we come back. But first, here is a look at what's ahead on Nightly News.
When we welcome our West Coast viewers, why the government may soon be sending masks to every American. One of the headlines from my conversation today with the White House Chief of Staff. Also, we'll meet vaccine hunters waiting in hopes of getting unused shots at the end of the day on Nightly News.
From Montana's news leader, you're watching MTN News at 5.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Cold, wind, snow, it's all headed our way, and lots of little minus signs there over the next 7 days. We may not come up for air, meaning above zero, until maybe next weekend from when we first dropped below zero in Great Falls. But 26 with some snow throughout most of the area tomorrow, then again Saturday, then again Sunday. Look at those temperatures going down, going in the wrong direction. Snow into Monday. maybe as much as 14 inches in and around Great Falls. And then even though the storm moves out, we've got nice sunshine, just an Arctic air mass will be in place, close to 30 below in Great Falls. There will be spots in Montana, especially the northeast corner, which are down colder than 40 below next week for overnight lows. Helena, a little snow tomorrow morning, more so Friday night into Saturday, then again on Sunday into Monday, and we are very cold throughout next week.
Thank you for making us a part of your evening. NBC Nightly News is next.